Hello everybody and welcome to my 28th VBA 2010 tutorial. And this tutorial is going to show you how you can speed up some of your loops. So I'm just going to create a loop to go through these and just change the values of these numbers. And what some of you may have experienced is sometimes when you're working with a lot of data and a lot of formulas, your loops can take quite a while to go through, and I'm going to explain why that is, and I'm also going to show you how to make them a lot more efficient and run a lot quicker. So I've just created a spreadsheet. It goes down to nearly 5,000 records, and then it's just got a fairly random, relatively complex formula next to it. So whenever you change one of these, these are going to calculate. And then if we go into our code, let's just start writing ourselves a loop. So let's give ourselves a counter as integer, counter equals 1, and then do until this workbook dot sheet 1 dot cells counter comma 1 dot value equals nothing. So I'm going to loop through all of the cells in column 1 until one of the values is blank. So that's going to go through all 4,500 of them, and just make sure you increment your counter so that it goes on to the next row. And then all I'm going to do in each section is I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to make it one more in the value. So very simple, just a little loop that goes through and increments all the values in that column. It's just an example. Obviously a real world example this isn't, but it's going to give you an example of exactly what I mean. So if I run this now, and then we realise that we have not put our equals sign in. And then, so let's stop this, run. And then you notice that it's taking quite a long time to go through them all and change them. And I haven't actually put add 1 on these, I've actually set it to change it to 1, so, but the concept's still going to stay the same. It's taken quite a while, and then you notice it's all done now. So that's run. But we don't want it to take that long. That took at least kind of 10 seconds. If you manage, that's only with 5,000 rows of data and one formula. If you have a whole spreadsheet full of formulas and you have data that goes down to thousands and thousands and thousands, then obviously it makes your code really, really inefficient. So why is this? Why does it take so long? So there's two main reasons that I'm going to show you that mean that these go really slow. The first one is every time Excel in VBA changes the value of a cell, calculates the entire worksheet. So for each one of these, it's going to calculate it. And even though if you calculate the worksheet, it's normally quite quick. So if you do that 5,000 times, that's a huge amount of wasted memory that the computer's using to calculate it over and over again, when really we're changing all these values, we only need to calculate it once. The other thing we're doing is whenever you update a cell in Excel, it updates this picture on your screen. So if we put something in here, then that, although it happens really fast, it's updating the entire screen with what it's looking at. And again, it will do this for every change you make. So it was going to do that 5,000 times. So what we need to do in order to speed our loops up is we need to remove those two features from our code. So let's go back into here. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So to do this, we use the application object, and we go application. And then there's two properties that we want to change. So we want to go into screen updating, equals, and then we want to put it to false. So this is going to stop the screen from updating itself. And then our code will run, and then every time it goes through this loop, it's not going to update the screen every time, so it's going to go a lot faster. But then at the end, what you want to just make sure you do is put it back to true again. Equals true. And then that is already going to speed it up way faster than it was before. Let's just go back into this now and run this. So Alt F8 and run. And it's still going to take a little while because it's still doing all the calculations, but it will go a little bit faster than the last one. And now that one's run, let's just go back into here and then turning the calculation off. Pretty similar, so application.calculation equals, and it comes up with the options. So we want to change it to manual, so it's only going to calculate the worksheet when we tell it to. And then at the end, we just want to again turn it back to the default. So, and I'm pressing Alt V because I've got used to my Mac now. And so copy, paste. And then we just want to change this to Excel calculation automatic, which is generally the default one that everyone uses. If you don't want to switch back to automatic and you use your spreadsheets and manual all the time, then just do application.calculate and that will calculate the worksheet for you and then leave it in manual. But we don't want to do that. We want to set it back to Excel equals Excel calculation automatic, and then built into that, when you switch back to automatic, it's going to calculate the worksheet for you. So if we go back into our code now and we run this, and then you'll notice it does it pretty much instantly. You barely even noticed. I'm just going to run it again. I'm going to put a message box at the end so you can actually see. Yeah, that's right. I'm done. And I'm just going to change this so that it's 1 plus the value, so it actually changes the values for us. So Alt F8 and then run, and then boom. Yeah, that's right, I'm done. That is how quick. And I know some of you will be thinking, wow, my loops were taking ages, and now I know that. It's blown my mind. And it blew mine too the first time I realised about those things. So just remember to always put them in. It's not just loops, it's all of your code. It's going to run a lot faster if you put those comments in. Just make sure that you always put them off at the start, but then you always put them back on again at the end, else your code's going to mess up. So that's it for this tutorial. If you've got any questions, drop them below. If you want to catch all of my videos, then please click on the subscribe button up here somewhere. And thanks for listening. I hope to catch you in the next tutorial.